Okay, ladies and gents, let's see what we have on this question 4. This is from a past paper. So now please make sure that before you start with the lesson, pause the lesson, read the statement, make sure that you understand everything on the statement. Make sure that you also go through this diagram. Let's just go straight to 4.1. On 4.1, they want you to calculate the value of theta. Look at this. What is theta? What is this theta here? That theta is the angle of inclination. So how do we find the angle of inclination? This is the angle of inclination, and what is your equation? It's AB. So we need to know the gradient of that AB. So I think it's best if we highlight that part. So in order for you to calculate angle theta, you're going to know you need the gradient of AB. So now we need to calculate the gradient of that AB. Then we're going to use the formula y2 minus y1, and everything is divided by x2 minus x1. So now what I'm going to do now, I need to write down my points. So look at this. This is A, and the coordinates of A are 4 and 2. And then let's list the coordinates of B, which is minus 2 and minus 1. So from these coordinates, you can see that A is the first point. I'm going to call this my x1, y1, and B is my second point. This will be my x2, y2. Please, why are we naming our points? Because we don't want to make any mistakes when it comes to substitution, okay? We don't want to make any mistakes, because if we make mistakes, we're going to lose marks. So now when I substitute, you check what is your y2, it's minus 1. So this will be minus 1. Then we need to subtract y1, which is 2. So this will be minus 2. Everything divided by x2, which is negative 2. We subtract x1, so we're going to subtract 4. So when you work this thing out, you can just say on top you have minus 1 and minus 2, which is just minus 3, the top part. So this will be negative 3 divided by negative 6. So I think everyone can agree with me that the negative will cancel. Therefore, what is the gradient of AB? I'm just going to move my problem down here and say the gradient of AB will be equals to what? It's 1 over 2. So now when you calculate the angle of inclination, this is how it works. Né? This is how it works. We're going to say the tan of theta is equals to the gradient of that AB. Then we know that the gradient of AB is just 1 over 2. So the tan of theta is equal to that. So to find theta, you just have to say theta is equals to the tan inverse of that gradient, 1 over 2. Then you punch that on the calculator, you'll have your angle theta. So the tan inverse of 1 over 2. Let me also put this on my calculator. Let's see what we get. Okay, so now the tan inverse 1 over 2, this is equals to 26.57 degrees. So now how do they mark this question? So you're going to get a mark for the correct substitution for calculating the gradient, and another mark for finding the gradient. Then the last mark is for the final answer. That's how they mark the problem. So let's look at 4.2. I'm just going to work on 4.2 this side. Né? So on 4.2, they say determine the equation of the line that is parallel to BC passing through A. Okay, so what they are trying to say is that if this line here is my BC, I need to create a line that is parallel to that BC, and the line should pass through point A. So this is the equation that they want us to find. So we need to write our answer in that form of y equals to mx plus c. So now let's work on this. What do you know about parallel lines? Parallel lines have equal gradient. So now Maybe we can just call this, let me see, what can we call this line? It's fine. uh, there's no need for you to name the line. So what we can do is just, first thing first, we need to find the gradient of BC. So we need to find the gradient of BC using the formula y2 minus y1 everything over x2 minus x1. So I need my point B, which is minus 2 and minus 1. And let's see what we have on C, minus 6 and 7. Okay, so what is my x1, y1? I always like to name my points so that I don't make mistakes. y1, x1, y1, x2, y2. So now when we do the substitution, we know what is my y2, we know what is my y1. So my y2 is 7, so this is 7 minus y1, which is negative 1. So I'm just going to save time because I know the negative will cancel. So on top, I'll just have 7 plus 1. Everything divided by x2, which is minus 6. Then we minus into minus 2, which is positive. So it will be minus 6 plus 2. Please make sure that you pause the lesson and you go through that. Ne? So the gradient of AB, on top I have 8. On bottom I have minus 4, so it's 8 divided by minus 4, which is minus 2. So now this is the gradient that we need to use. Why do we need to use this gradient? Because remember, when lines are parallel, they have equal gradient. So this tells you that the gradient of this line that we are looking for, we're going to use minus 2. Right, so the formula that we can use the formula. There are two formulas that we can use. The first one is y minus, we can say this is y minus, let's call this x1 and equate this to, I'm not sure, but let's not use this formula. Maybe someone might be confused. I'm very sorry about that. But now let's just stick to the original formula. Okay, let's use the formula that says y is equals to mx plus c, meaning that where there's the gradient, we need to substitute negative 2. So this will be y is equals to negative 2x plus c. Now we can choose any point between, we don't have to choose any point because we only have one point on that line, which is A. So we're going to sub in point A. Look at what we have on point A. It's 4 and 2. So we need to substitute 4 and 2. This is your x, this is your y. So now where there's y, I'm going to put 2. This is equal to negative 2 into where there's x, I need to put 4y because we are looking for the value of c. We need to calculate for that value of c. Minus 2 times 4, that's minus 8. So the minus 8 will come to the other side to be positive. So this will be 2 plus 8, then it's equals to c. So if we conclude c is 10, what is the equation of the graph? We need to take it and substitute it on that. So y is equals to minus 2x plus 10. I hope everyone understands how we got the equation of the line that is parallel to BC. For the fact that we see the word parallel, we know that parallel lines have equal gradients. So we can, because now for this line, we don't have enough information to calculate the gradient of that line. The gradient of this line, we don't have enough information, but we are told that this line is parallel to BC. So we can use the gradient of BC to find the equation of that line. I hope this makes sense, and I hope everyone is happy on how we calculated the 4.3 problem. Okay, so now ladies and gents, let's move to 4.3 and see what we need to do on that 4.3. We are given that the line BD is y is equals to 2x plus 3. So this line here is going to have the equation y is equals to 2x plus 3. Okay, calculate the coordinates of D. And which one is the coordinates of D? They are looking for this point here. Guys, look at this point. This point is on this line, BD, and the very same point is on that line, CA. So can you see that point D is the point of intersection between those two lines? Is the point of intersection between those two lines. And look at how many marks are we working on. 5 marks. So the marks tells you that, buddy, you need to do the work. You need to work. So now, how do we calculate the point of intersection? We need to have the two equations of those lines and equate them, solve for x. The answer that you get, you're going to substitute to one of the equation to find the corresponding y. So now to find the x value of D, we need the equation of these two lines. Already we know that BD, the equation of BD is y is equal to 2x plus 3. It was given. I'm happy with that. So now the aim is to calculate the equation of what? AC. So we need to calculate the equation of AC, and we can put the equation of AC in the form of y is equals to mx plus c. But look at this. We need to first find the gradient of what? The gradient of that AC. Let's work on this. So the gradient of AC is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now let's look at this. I have A, and the coordinates of A is 4 and 2. And I have the coordinates of C, which is minus 6 and 7. So from these coordinates, tell me which one is the first one. It's A, so this will be your x1, y1. This will be your x2, y2. So now you can see that when you name your points, there's no way you're going to make mistakes when you do the substitution. Okay, let's work on this. What is the gradient of AC if we substitute? So the gradient of AC is equals to y2, it's 7, minus y1, which is 2. So the top part, we can see that we're going to have 5, okay, divide by your x2, which is minus 6. Remember, we are looking at these points, okay? So this will be minus 6, and what is my x1 is just 4. So we're going to minus 4. Okay, so now when I work this on the calculator, what is this equal to? The top part is 5, the bottom part is minus 10, which gives us minus 1 over 2. So the gradient is negative 1 over 2. So now I can say that since the gradient of AC is minus 1 over 2, we can write the equation as y is equals to minus 1 over 2x plus c. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try to find the value of c. We can use one point between these 2 points. So I'm just going to use A. I'm going to substitute A. Look at this A. I know that my y is 2. So where there's y, I'm going to put 2. Then this is minus 1 over 2 into where there's x, we need to put 4 to find the value of c. Okay, so now I hope, guys, you are not confused because of this too much. We don't have much space, as you can see, so it's fine. So now when I look at this, minus 1 over 2 times 4 is just negative 2. So the negative 2 will come to the other side to be positive 2. So it will be 2 plus 2, which will give us the value of 6 as the value of c as 4. So what will be the equation of that AC? So AC will have the equation y is equals to, remember we need to substitute the value of c as 4, which will be minus 1 over 2x plus 4. I hope everyone understands how we got that value. Now we are about to go to the final part of this problem. So now that we have the two equations, we need to equate. So we need to take that given equation, which is this one here. We need to take the 2x plus 3, equate that to the minus 1 over 2x plus 4. Then we need to group the like terms. When you group the like terms, the minus 1 over 2 will come to the other side. Okay, so it will be 2x plus 1 over 2. So when we add the 2, if I have, what is this? If I have 2x, if let me quickly verify this, is 2x, which will give us this will be 2x plus 1 over 2x, it's equals to 4, and then from the 4 we need to minus, what? From the 4 we need to minus the 3. Okay, so let's hope this, what we are doing here, it's right, né? So now I'm going to say 2x plus 1 over 2. What is that equals to? What do we get? I'm still punching this on the calculator. 2 plus okay, so the 2 plus 1 over 2, this gives me this will be 2 times 2, which is 4 plus 1 is 5. So this is 5 over 2x, and we're going to equate this to 1. So we need to make x subject of the formula. So when you solve this, the top part is 5x, it's equals to 2. Therefore, what is x? X is just 2 over 5. That's the value of x. So the coordinates of d, there, the x coordinate of d is just 2 over 5. I'm not sure where can we work this other problem. Let's move this somewhere up here. Maybe we can finish the problem somewhere here. I'm very sorry, guys. On our next lesson, we'll make sure that we have enough space. Okay, so now that we have this, x is equal to 2 over 5. What I'm going to do now, I need to substitute this in one of the equation to find the corresponding y value. So I can use the equation y is equals to 2x plus 3. So meaning that where there's x, we need to put 2 over 5 plus 3. Then what is the y value? It's 2 times 2, which is 4 over 5 plus 3. So if it's 4 over 5 plus 3, we can say 3 times 5 is 15, plus 4 it's going to be 19. The answer is 19 over 5. You can also verify that on your calculator. Therefore, the coordinates of d will be 2 over 5, which is the x value, and 19 over 5. I'm very sorry, guys, about the space. We don't even have the space to work on the last problem, which is the area. So I'm just gonna be very fast on this one. Maybe we can answer it up somewhere up here and say this is my 4.4. They want us to find the area of triangle OBF. Let me quickly highlight that area, that triangle O. We start from O, okay, all the way to B. Guys, I think you can see how easy the question is, né? So now this will be my height, right? So remember, we can use the formula that say area is equals to half base times the height. I was going to also show you how to use the sine rule formula, but we don't have much space, so I'll just go with the easy question. So now, what is my base, guys? Look at this. I can create a base of that triangle. I can do a construction. So when I do the construction, my base is 2. Why? Because look at this. The x value of b here is -2. But remember, we are looking for the length. For the length of what? Of the base is just 2. So this tells me that this will be half base, which is 2. We need to find the height. the height is this part. Please don't make mistake on this one. The height is this part. We just need to know what is this point here, which is the y-intercept of this equation. We find the y-intercept if x is 0. Can you see that where there's x, if you put 0, you're going to get that your y-intercept is 3. So this will make the height to be 3. So the height from 0 to that point is 3. So this will be multiplied by 3. Therefore, what is the area? So the area is just positive 3 if you put that on the calculator. So please make sure that you say 3 units squared to show that you are referring to the area. 3 units squared. So now I was positive that all the answers will fit on this, but please guys, just make sure that you follow through each and everything that we did. You can even go back to the lesson and pause, work out on some of the questions step by step. Yeah, so on our next lesson, let's make sure that we have enough space to solve the problems and also work out on other methods. Remember, on this problem I had another method that I wanted to show you how to find the equation, but because of the space, even here there's a sign rule method that we can use to answer 4.4. But that's it for this lesson. If you understand the lesson, if you enjoyed the lesson, please make sure that you hit the subscription button and join the family so that we'll make sure that you feel at home.